he does. Well, it's about time you knew. We've all known for ages, and you've been very slow.
I kept receiving texts from friends calling me the oblivious dad. It always starts, hi, oblivious dad.
People on the streets coming up and saying...
Very polite people. Can't even spell that. That's very educated people you mix with. That's excellent.
Anyway, I ought to say, of course, I didn't introduce you properly then because I got carried away.
Who are you anyway?
Which is, of course, Nina, Wadia and Nitin Ganetra, who play Masood and Zainab. And it is a great storyline that's been bubbling away for ages now, hasn't it? Because you've known, so you've been deceiving him.
Yes, of course. Now I'm the biggest liar on that soap right now.
Yes.
And she still continues to lie, even after he's told her that he knows. And she kind of goes, really?
Yeah, no, he does it so gently as well. It's going to be okay.
But just to explain the whole thing, it's not exactly the situation itself between these two lads. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's the fallout, it's the repercussions, it's what your community and what your religion and what your family and what your traditions expect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's universal about this story is parents having to deal with this. And it's a family drama, so it's kind of crossed all those boundaries in one respect. But on the other respect, these characters are Muslims, so they, you know, and practicing.
It's intensified.
Muslim. Yeah, and so Masood goes to the imam, goes to the mosque to get advice, and he's basically told that, you know, there is a point where he has to decide whether he's going to disown his son or his family may be disowned by the community.
What a terrible decision.
Yeah, that's a hard decision to make, because you're following... It's a man in conflict with his religion and his heart.
Yeah.
Because he's still his son at the end of the day.
And the thing is, I think, with Masood, is that, you know, he is a gentle man and he's a very understanding and forgiving man, it seems to me, that this is going to be a big, big dilemma for him, because he will understand the whole family and community problems that this situation would cause.
But from Zainab's point of view, Nina, what's her motivation? What is she trying to do?
She basically wants to save face. I think the biggest problem that Zainab has is pride. That is her sin, and she doesn't want the community to find out, because that'll mean they'll have to start from scratch again, because they've already been humiliated once before. But she's also got... her dilemma is the fact that she loves her son to bits, and she desperately wants to care for him and love him, but she can't, because she's been brought up within this religion to believe that what he's doing is wrong.
So she's not really homophobic. She's just trying to protect him, really.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. But I mean, she does. She goes to a very dark place. They both do, actually.
Could I ask you to? I would know, say, from 1960s, 1970s, maybe even 1980s Ireland and Catholicism, whatever that you know, you could see this scenario playing out. What about the Muslim community, or how realistic do you think this storyline actually would be, or the repercussions?
Incredibly. I mean, they've really done their research on this. They really have. And it, like I said, it goes to a very dark place, because actually that is what would happen and has happened. You know, from the research they've done, they said they've spoken to families who've had this conflict, and you literally cut off all ties. It's got to be like the person doesn't exist.
It's very tragic. It's a very tragic situation for a family to have to go through that. They've handled it beautifully. They've handled it very delicately. They've kept the drama without having to be too documentary-like in its realism.
Yes.
So you know, we're in the business of telling stories.
Well, you are, and as you say, you're in the business of making drama. Another clip to show that drama. Here we go.
And he will end this shame that he's brought on our family.
Or what?
I can't bear. And this is going to cause problems between the two of you as well, just when you were kind of getting back on track, weren't you?
Yes, because at this point, Masood doesn't know that Zainab knew.
No.
So just to add more fuel to the fire, I mean, his whole world falls apart, because this relationship is so strong, Zainab and Masood, although they're so counter-opposite, it works beautifully then, and they are so in love.
Yeah, but do you know what I find amazing? That I'm also sitting talking to the couple who picked up the Best Comedy Award or something at the British soap in the middle of this. I mean, that dichotomy, have you any problem with that, or is that just a great tribute to the way you're cast, the way you act this, the way all of this comes across, or what you're allowed to do?
Well, Nina won too that night. She did Best Comedy Performance. And
that was very kind. No, it was Best On-Screen Partnership, and you know what? I think it's because we've known each other for 17 years. We kind of feel very comfortable, and actually does. I don't know about him, but it suddenly feels like I have 2 marriages in my life sometimes.
We do behave. Sometimes we have to kind of go, whoa, we are not. We're talking to each other like we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
But you've known each other 17 years. Was that through work? So did you?
Yes,
did you
yeah.
work together?
Yeah.
What did you first do together?
Do You Eat With Your Fingers? It was a show at Theatre Royal Stratford East, which was sort of co-written, co-performed, and every night Nitin and I played husband and wife in that, and it's the first time we played husband and wife, and there was this moment where he would be downstage looking upstage at me, so I'm facing the audience, and 9 times out of 10 would do something to make me laugh. I think there was maybe one performance
Very
in 30 where I
unprofessional,
didn't.
that sort of thing.
Deeply
we would never do that.
unprofessional,
I don't understand the mentality of people that do
So
that.
who's the worst corpser? Can you make her corpse more than the
She's
other
the
way around?
giggler, but oh my gosh, no, it's a medical symptom with her.
Yes.
She's the giggler. She's famous for it. Me, I just try and keep a straight face and try and keep my job.
Well, Nina mentioned one of the, Stratford there and acting on stage. What she didn't mention is sex scenes. Now, sex scenes and love scenes are one thing, but
Yeah.
how gratuitous is it to have a sex scene, a proper, I see from my research here, a proper sex scene on the radio? To quote the notes here, it says on my notes, they kissed and everything. They kissed and what's that mean?
How do you do
they
everything
kissed
on the
and
radio?
everything.
We had a closed set on radio.
I'm not joking. Well, the thing is, we said it as a joke, should this be a closed set? So they did. They shut their curtains in that little booth, and then they shut a curtain round us. It was him and me and this mic. And I'd just gotten married, like, in real life. And I'm going, this is so odd.
We went for the kiss.
Well, why didn't you just do it when you just...
Because it doesn't
gone
sound
now.
like that.
It doesn't,
But it's
apparently, it
the
doesn't
kiss
sound
and
really.
everything.
Yes,
So how did you do the everything?
Well, put it this way: when the scene ended, Nina felt very guilty about her marriage. She did feel like a sense of betrayal.
You see,
should be
I don't think we should be worrying about Christian inside and everything in this. I think the real scandal has been exposed here this morning.
Listen, we will
family.
keep watching. The storyline is fantastic. And also, congratulations, because I know you're both nominated at this year's
Yeah,
Soap
thank you.
Awards.
Yeah,
thank you.
Very well
exciting.
deserved. Very
Yeah.
well
Very
deserved.
honoured.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very much indeed, Nina.
And now we know, even in all
Nita.
that serious stuff, there's a lot of giggling goes on. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. We're tuning in tonight. Thank you for that.
And we're staying with soaps, because still to come, from Marlon's wife in Emmerdale to Anita's mum now.